Takže dámy a páni, vítam vás v novém videu z sérii Odkaz Sherlocka Holmesa.
Watson, my dear fellow, we can now go and inform the Marquis that we have found the Samoan necklace, and very much faster than Inspector Baines, too, which pleases me.
Have you really solved the theft, Holmes? And so quickly?
I have indeed, Watson, and believe me, it was completely unnecessary to spread out all over London, as our friend Baines thought was best. He likes to boast that his methods are equal to mine, but once again the outcome has contradicted him.
After all these years of accompanying you upon your investigations, I thought that by now I should be reasonably capable of following your train of thought. But in this particular case, I must admit that I don't understand anything at all.
Ah, you see, but you do not observe, Watson. There lies the difference. It is a matter of course.
A matter of course? In the middle of the night, when everyone is fast asleep, the service bell within that room rings out and alerts the servants. They dress quickly and come running, but the door is locked and there is a strong smell of burning from within. A few seconds later, the master of the house himself, the robbed Marchioness's husband, the Marquis of Conyngham, arrives and unlocks the door using the sole key. A fire has started inside the room, but they have managed to arrive in time to put it out. It is at that moment that the Marquis realizes that the famous Samoan necklace, which had been safe within its glass cabinet only a few hours earlier, has now disappeared.
In order to explain, let us confirm my theory before the arrival of Inspector Baines.
No, takže máme tu Sherlocka Holmesa opätovne. Asi sa ideme trápiť.
This window was cut with a diamond.
See how tiny the...
Ešte musím nastaviť hlasitosť toho. Nič, efektov, nič. No.
This window...
See...
Pro interakciu použij. OK. Nič.
This window was...
See how tiny the hole is, and not one... All the windows are locked. They've not been forced. A mark, undoubtedly made by a diamond. Someone tried to cut the glass, but he was interrupted.
Therefore, the thief tried to escape through the window, but he was interrupted.
Lupa. Podloze v klavíre leží pár notových zápisov.
Let us examine the crumpled score. These sooty prints were left by a tiny hand.
I don't understand why these music scores are covered with soot.
To sú základy.
Not very well kept.
OK.
These documents are not very interesting, even though they're addressed to the Minister of Maritime Affairs.
The Marquis himself.
OK. Čo tu máme?
A candle.
Svíčka. Dobre. To sa nepotreba povediť.
All the windows are locked. They've not been forced.
Neboli vypáčené. OK, toto sme pozreli.
This draft screen makes an ideal hiding place.
As the theft was committed at night, I conclude that the thief hid himself behind the draft screen and waited until he was alone in the room.
Inak pre informáciu o sérii, prepáčte, že tak dneska ho udávam, videá budú raz týždenne aspoň pol hodinu, s tým, že budem to natočiť takto. Dúfam, že ma počujete cez mikrofón, ktorý mám na sluchatkách. Alebo si to môžeme dať takto. Videá budú bývať jedenkrát týždeň, ako som hovoril, raz týždeň, jedenkrát týždeň, takže asi tak. No, a teraz...
When the servants arrived at the door, having been alerted by the bell, they saw evidence of the theft and the fire, but they didn't see the thief.
This door is very hard to force. The Marquis is the only person to have the key. The thief could not get...
What do you think, Holmes?
Let us search the room before the police get here. We might throw some...
Prohľadíme pokoj, dokým nedorazí polícia.
The fire...
Whoever... Heading towards his chosen escape route, probably the window, the thief knocked over the stool, which then caught fire.
But why didn't he try to put the fire out at once?
No, to je otázka. Prečo sa nepokúšali?
There are some objects here.
Footprints. You are not going to get on your knees to examine them.
There is no need. It is soot. The servants must have trodden in it while they
Tam
were
nájdeme
putting out
toľko
the fire.
spočiť, ďakujem pekne. Dobre, čo ďalej ešte? Teraz som začal niečím iným, lenže toto sa mi stiahlo. A keďže mám už zase nový notebook.
The chest wasn't opened.
A
The
herný notebook.
necklace wasn't in it.
To mi lepšie vynášalo. No, čo ešte? Ale sa nedá prejsť. Nie. Tu je všetko.
Strange. There aren't any prints. Yet I'm sure that the thief hid here.
Ale tu fyzel.
Mr. Holmes, you're already here.
Good morning, Inspector. You've arrived just in time.
Scotland Yard arrives like the cavalry.
Vždy ako
Always in the nick of time.
kavalie.
But I know that satisfied expression, Mr. Holmes. We have the only... I'm pleased to see that you find the situation amusing, Mr. Holmes. Very well, then. Explain.
Dr. Watson was correct when he mentioned acrobatics, but he is mistaken about the nature of the acrobat. As for you, Baines, you're quite incorrect, as the thief was in the room when the servants entered.
Explain, for heaven's sake, Mr. Holmes.
Watson, how could a thief be missed?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You're thinking
Dobre,
of...
zase až tak sa neopičte.
The animal had been hidden inside the room for several hours, calmly awaiting the signal from his master. Once night had fallen and the room was empty, a high-frequency whistle alerted the monkey that it was time to begin the procedure for which he had been trained. The monkey emerged from his hiding place and used the point of a diamond to open the glass cabinet and steal the necklace. He headed across to the window by the chimney, but knocked over the stool, which in turn knocked aside the fire guard and started the fire. The frightened monkey jumped from the chimney by swinging from the bell pull, thus alerting the house servants. He then went to the window and began to use his... He ran across the piano. Finally, the servants and the Marquis entered the room, leaving the door open while they put out the fire. It was during the confusion that our agile little thief made his escape through the doorway. As simple as that.
A brilliant explanation. Bravo, Holmes. And the necklace?
I can see it from here, my friends. It's right in front of us.
We have searched the room from top to bottom, Holmes. How were we unable to find it?
Because we paid insufficient attention to the only victim of this affair.
What victim? No one is dead?
Yes, Watson. A poor goldfish whose destiny was to die, crushed by one of the most precious necklaces in England.
The aquarium is just beneath the chandelier. I understand.
The little monkey had likely hung the necklace around its neck and lost it when he leapt from the chandelier. The jewels fell into the aquarium where they remain now.
Áno, lebo v vode sa náramok svojím spôsobom, to je kov. Ak je to náramok z kovu, tak ryby na také veľké množstvo kovu nie sú zvyknuté.
Marquis, here is your necklace, intact, just a little wet.
Mr. Holmes, this brilliant demonstration does credit to your reputation.
Thank you so much, Marquis. Do you wish to verify the authenticity of your jewel?
No, I recognize it. I have spent many hours admiring it, you know.
Good. I will return it to its box and...
Inspector, a bank has just been held up. You must follow me at once. Orders of Scotland Yard.
What times?
Sirs, duty calls. My regards, Marquis. And well done again, Mr. Holmes.
There, the necklace is in its box. We've lost enough time here. Let's go home, Watson.
Ah, very well, as you wish. A good day to you, Marquis.
With pleasure, gentlemen. And once again, thank you.
Nie za čo.
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to. Read if you insist.
OK. Dobre, takže sme tu. Sherlock Holmes v dome na markízy Cunningham. Vyšetrovanie je jedno veľké fiasko. Včera pozvali proslulého detektíva Sherlocka Holmesa do sídla markíze z Cunninghamu. Prednesl své záveži z vyšetrovaní zmizení drahocenného samojenského zdárňovníka. Na připomínku stojí, že lady detektíva privolala poté, co se zdálo, že policie tapé v temnotě podivných okolností, které krádež doprovázely.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did you know I was here?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit, Inspector?
Have you read that, Rag?
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know how the reporter got hold of the information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes, before Holmes returned it to its place.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewellery?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector?
Be my guest.
Very well.
Dobre teda, super, dík. Jak mám desíčie padielany?
This pearl is a different color.
Ešte niečo tu musí byť, čo mi...
These 3 pearls are of poor quality.
What do you think, Holmes? What do you think, Holmes?
What do you think, Holmes?
Kurva!
What do you think?
Sorry za nadávky.
What do you think?
Ešte tam niečo musí byť. Niečo tam... Neviem ma chytia. Čo tam ešte môže byť?
This pearl is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake. This is nothing but a vulgar copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiries.
Goodbye, Inspector. You mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
Ajajaj, ovládaš Watsona. Počkaj, je ostrovali tu? Ne, nikde. Dobre.
Holmes.
Dobre, ale on hovoril o nejakom pozvaní. Kde ešte môže byť jeho ostrov? Čo tu? Tu.
I have found your map.
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
No.
What has happened, Reverend?
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God. How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Holmes, look!
The Bishop, appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man. How could anyone be so...
Jasne, že je mŕtvý.
Look at him. He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible for that?
They were evidently unworthy children, Reverend. Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Doctor? But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the Bishop.
In that case, I must ask you to leave, and not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
Out of the question. I don't even know you. I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper. Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one. Therefore, we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes. I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed it would seem that the Bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
OK. Dobre. Dobre, prvo si prejdeme miestnosť.
This stove is filled to overflowing. A broken phial and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Chemical components, I think.
OK.
A
Dobre.
There is blood on this paperweight. A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt.
It would seem that the brutes who tortured the bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
Táto prvá časť možno bude troška kratšia, keďže neviem, čo ešte odo mňa budú.
The picture of Peregrine Maitland,
Som to dosť
commander
dlho
of the
nehral.
infantry brigade of Her Majesty's Guards at Waterloo.
The Bishop of Knightsbridge has the same name as his ancestor, an illustrious family.
This metal rod. It's
A whip?
No, it is a discipline for self-flagellation. This very pious man must have had the...
OK, tam to ešte necháme. Prehliadneme telo. A... Dobre, ideme na to. Ideme sem. Na tvár.
You can see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth.
To je všetko.
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade.
OK.
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck. The fingers have been crushed and
To, že je zviazaný, mi neukazuje, že by bolo niečo proti. Ešte nohy potrebujem prehliadnúť. No tak to je
These
to.
burns are terrible.
His feet have been burned.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You? But what does it matter, Holmes? This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
My...
A finger. Apparently, it doesn't belong to the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
How dreadful.
Dobre. Ešte niečo mi tam ukazuje. To mi ukazuje len to, že to mám otvoriť, ale nič dôležité. Proste sme prešli všetky.
A piece of rope that was used to tie up that poor man.
His stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So, these wounds were not made by his murderers. Something is missing here.
Oh, yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson, his shoes are missing.
You have no right to search here.
Nemám oprávnenie o tom hovoriť. To mi fakt naznačí, že nemáš na to
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
Well, yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson. Footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by... Hobnail boots like those worn by labourers. This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems recent. It is not a labourer's shoe. A fragment of stone. Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the sole. Hobnail boot.
Dobre.
Size 9. Size 9.5. Size 9.
Dobre.
Size 9. Size 9.5.
Kolik tu bolo zločincov? Traja?
Perfect. We now know that there were 3 crooks.
Cez text vyplýva jeden muž z príkladu ten, ktorý už boli kopie, jeden muž odišiel z blízka.
Strange but true. One of the crooks was wearing a different pair of shoes when he left here. Therefore, we have 3 men who came in and left again, but one of them was wearing a different pair of shoes from the ones which he came in with.
So, all we have to do is look for a workman who likes Italian shoes.
No.
What should we do next, Holmes?
Neviem. Pozrieme sa sem. Tu ešte niečo je. Skalpel. Tak dobre
A
vidím.
surgical scalpel covered in blood. There isn't any doubt. The wounds on the bishop were administered with this scalpel.
OK, tu som sa ešte nepozrel.
Closed. The veranda door hasn't been forced. Strange. Reverend, might I have the key?
No! You have no authority here. Let me call the police.
Perhaps we should listen to him, Holmes.
Perhaps you should let me get on with this, Watson. Closed.
Ready, unclosed.
Closed.
I like it closed.
This door has not been forced. Where does it lead?
To His Excellency's room. There is just a mattress and a stool.
Aj tam niečo
The
nájdeme.
bishop's bedroom. It is very austere. Nothing in particular here.
Čo tu ešte máme? Sorry. Táto mŕtvola mi stále svieti, ale to si necháme už na budúce asi.
I cannot leave now.
Nemôžu odísť, dobre. Dobre. Mám si to uložiť ešte. Tak. A tým pádom sa na tento diel s vami lúčim. Takže ak sa vám videjko páčilo, nech bude na like, tvoj kontent páčilo, nech zabudnite na odber, vedľa odberu zvonček, aby nešlo žiadne ďalšie video. No zozdiel nás, tak sa majte a čau, čau, čau.